Oh, good left right on the button.
He could be losing every round.
I think the doctor says maybe just give him one more round or something.
Then one punch, and his opponents take a lunch break nap.
As desperate as it is.
But falling ever further behind them. Oh no!
For 15 years, Julian Jackson was the sport's most efficient executioner.
Is still firing back. Oh, a big left hand. Oh, a tremendous left hand.
Hook. Taking caution for the moment by Marty Jenkins for hitting behind the head.
Gerald Jackson. And then right in there, Terry Norris.
But every man who ever stopped Julian Jackson did it the exact same way he did it to everyone else.
Great hand from Jackson there, landed on McClellan, and McClellan's good shot.
Oh, he's got him with a left hook.
Today we revisit the ferocious career of the Hawk, the man who built his empire on one punch and lost it the same way. But before we continue, please subscribe and hit the like button to watch more boxing documentaries in the future. Enjoy the video.
Right to the back of the head of Drayton. There you see, there goes a right hand.
Julian Jackson was born on September 12, 1960 in St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. He grew up in a place that had produced no boxing tradition to speak of, no famous gyms, no pipeline of champions. What St. Thomas gave Jackson was a body capable of generating violence that very few fighters in the sport's history could match. He made the 1979 Pan American Games representing the U.S. Virgin Islands, went out early, and turned professional in 1981 with nothing but the punching power he had been born with. His early career was built in Puerto Rico and at small venues across the U.S. East Coast and Las Vegas, journeyman after journeyman, stoppage after stoppage. By the time fight number 15 came around, he hadn't been in trouble once. By fight 20, barely anyone could take his shots past the third round. By the time he reached 29 wins against nobody, the record looked clean. But the question it raised was obvious. What would happen when Julian Jackson stepped in with a real fighter? His body type was unusual for a super welterweight. He stood close to 6 feet with long arms and an explosive hip drive that produced concussive leverage on both hands. His technique was never refined in the traditional sense. He didn't slip and counter the way a craftsman would. What he did was apply pressure and weight, and when he found the angle, just once, the fight was almost always over. In 29 professional fights, he had 27 knockouts. The power was not a rumor. Those 29 wins had been built against men who were never going to embarrass anyone in a major arena. Jackson knew it. His manager, Carl King, knew it. Everyone in boxing knew it. The only way to find out what the Hawk actually was, the only way to silence the question, was to put him in against a genuine world champion. And in August 1986, they found one. The WBA Super Welterweight title was held by Mike McCallum, one of the most technically accomplished fighters in the world at 154 pounds, and he was willing to give Julian Jackson his shot. Mike McCallum was 26-0 going into this fight, with a knockout rate that nearly matched Jackson's own. But what separated McCallum from everyone Jackson had faced before was not power, it was intelligence. The body snatcher was one of the finest technicians the super welterweight division had ever seen. Patient, precise, clinical.
Mike McCullen's eyes. He's waiting for that right hand. Got a short right hand. Watch for that right hand against the head.
He worked the body with vicious accuracy and had only ever needed one style. Whatever the opponent brought, McCallum adjusted and took it apart.
Here comes the knockout punch right there.
Between them, going into this fight, they had combined for 50 knockouts in 55 professional contests. Jackson came out aggressive from the first bell, going after the champion early. He hurt McCallum with a left hook in round 1, a genuine shot, enough to make the champion take notice. But McCallum didn't panic. He absorbed it, reset, and went back to work. Round 2, McCallum began to trap Jackson against the ropes, cutting off the ring with footwork and lining up his own left hook on the chin. The left hook landed. Jackson went down. McCallum followed up immediately. Body shots, hooks, combinations. Jackson couldn't get clear. Julian shelled up, not risking a counter, and it didn't work out in the best way. The referee stepped in. TKO, round 2. McCallum retained the WBA title. It was the first loss of Jackson's professional career, and it answered the question in the harshest possible way. Against a world-class opponent who could box, move, and match him physically, Jackson had been stopped. The punch that rocked McCallum in round 1 had done nothing to change the outcome. Power alone wasn't always enough, but Jackson was not finished. McCallum would soon vacate the belt and move up in weight, and that left a vacancy that Julian Jackson intended to fill. After 2 tune-up wins following the McCallum loss, Jackson was matched with Korean Inchul Baek for the vacant WBA super welterweight title in Las Vegas. Baek came in at 41 and won with 37 knockouts. He had only ever been beaten on points, and he had never been stopped. He would go on to win the WBA super middleweight title the following year. Jackson worked behind the jab early, alternating orthodox and southpaw, keeping Baek off balance.
Powerful fighter from St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands, a fellow we've seen on the Non-King Sports and Entertainment Network several times before. The only loss on his record is 31-1.
The Korean started pressing forward, but Julian's left hook sent him stumbling back into the ropes.
That kind of pause after. Julian nails him.
In round 3, Jackson found the range with the right hand. It staggered Baek.
Good first round for Julian. And there he nails back.
A combination, right hand, left hook, sent Baek flat to the canvas, his head coming to rest under the bottom rope. Baek rose, but the barrage that followed was too much. The referee waved it off. Julian Jackson was the new WBA super welterweight champion of the world. The loss to McCallum had lasted 13 months. The title had been reclaimed in 3 rounds. The first voluntary defense brought former IBF super welterweight champion Buster Drayton to Atlantic City. Drayton came in at 33-10-1, and his record told a story. In 50-plus professional fights, he had only ever been stopped once by Kevin Perry in his 10th pro bout. He had beaten Carlos Santos for the IBF belt. He had gone the full 15 rounds with Davey Moore, 12 with Sumbu Kalambe, 12 with James Kinchin. His chin was his credential, and it was a legitimate one. From the opening bell, Jackson launched 2-fisted attacks. Head, body, head, with that venom his style had always carried.
With red trim. No question that Drayton's been in there with the tougher guys. He's lost to some of them, but he does have victories over the likes of...
Drayton tried to make it a fight, but the volume and weight of Jackson's shots were something different to anything he'd faced.
Hanging with a right hand to the midsection. And again,
Tim Jackson fights strictly by the book.
Round 2, Jackson had Drayton hurt, backing him up with power shots.
right to the back of the head of Drayton. You see, there goes a right hand. Drayton.
A knockdown in round 2 sent Drayton to the canvas for the first time. He rose, but Jackson had his measure completely. The shots kept landing.
Left foot, which is a no-no, but again, Drayton does a lot of no-nos.
And he got up smiling, but Jackson pressing the advantage now. And going to the body. Now up to the head. Drayton willing to trade, looks a little wobbly leg.
Another knockdown in round 3. Drayton struggled up again.
And Drayton is still firing. Oh, a big left hand. Oh, a tremendous left hand.
It It ended there. The referee stepped in. TKO, round 3. A man who had gone the distance with every serious opponent he'd ever faced couldn't get through 9 minutes. Jackson had successfully defended his title, and the manner of the stoppage sent a message to the entire division. The next challenger was different. Younger, faster, more dangerous on the rise. Terry Norris came in at 21-3 with genuine speed and punching power of his own. He was 6 years younger than Jackson, and many observers felt his hand speed would give the champion real problems if he could avoid trading bombs. Norris was one of those fighters who, in the right matchup, could win a world title. He eventually would, 3 times at light middleweight, but not here, and not against this man. Round 1, Norris moved well. He circled, threw sharp right hands, and made Jackson miss.
Right away, you see the movement from Norris. A bad miss there, Mike.
He was stinging the champion with fast combinations. The speed advantage was real.
Terry Norris, rather exciting combinations. Brilliant hand speed, Norris. Good chopping right hand, and Terry Norris right here in the opening seconds has taken all the play away from the champion.
Then, Norris did the thing you cannot do against Julian Jackson. He got comfortable. He stopped moving. He closed the distance and got punished for it.
Another good right to the body that time by Julian Jackson. Overhead chopping right, and again the incredible knockout ratio of Jackson.
Norris was unconscious on his feet. A left hook and another right sent him face first to the canvas.
And that right to that, Terry Norris is gone.
The referee waved it off without a count. Norris would recover. He would have a Hall of Fame career. He would beat Sugar Ray Leonard and Donald Curry. But he never got past round 2 with Julian Jackson, because for one moment in round 2, he forgot where he was. Jackson had now stopped Buster Drayton, Terry Norris, and Francisco de Jesus in title defenses. All 3 ended with a single devastating punch. He was the Ring Magazine's top-ranked junior middleweight in 1989. There was nowhere left to go at 154 pounds, so he vacated the belt and went to middleweight. However, the British Boxing Board of Control wouldn't sanction the middleweight fight on British soil. Jackson had undergone surgery to repair detached retinas in both eyes. The BBB of C felt he was coming back too soon and refused to grant a license. So the vacant WBC middleweight title fight ended up at the Torquebrada Hotel and Casino in Benalmádena on the south coast of Spain, in front of a small crowd, far from the headline glare it deserved. Herol Graham was one of the greatest British fighters never to win a world title. The Sheffield southpaw had gone 38 fights unbeaten before a narrow points defeat to Sumbu Kalambay in 1987. He had lost a razor-thin decision to Mike McCallum in 1989. He was elusive, fast, and technically exceptional, widely regarded as almost impossible to hit cleanly. 3 times he would try for a world title. This was the night everyone thought he'd finally get it. From the opening bell, Graham took charge. Taller, rangier, he moved constantly and found angles that left Jackson lunging at air.
Because he's been on television a lot. The man's a southpaw. And opening up. It's a good start by Graham. But he's got to be careful of Jackson. Jackson can take you out with one shot.
Julian Jackson's never met anyone as unusual as Herol Graham.
He targeted the left eye early, left leads landing with precision, right hooks behind them, finding the mark.
For Herol Graham.
Firing on all cylinders from round 1. Great stuff.
Well, it's as confident and as positive a start.
Round 2, Jackson's left eye began to swell.
Good left right on the button.
The eye's gone.
And Jackson is hurt and through the ropes almost and in desperate trouble. The former light middle champion, his vision is affected.
I think his left eye's closed, I'm sure it has. He's got to pump that jab home, bomber. It's right made for the right jab.
Jackson can't go on, surely. He's grimacing in pain, the American.
Graham poured it on. At this point, it was clear that Graham is winning the fight.
The American's corner, trying to urge him on, be first, be first. Oh, good shot from Graham. I'm trying to pour it on. And once again, the American's eye looks a sorry, swollen state. The southpaw stance. Oh, good left.
Cracking right, left cross from Herol Graham.
And a good right.
By the end of round 3, the eye was grotesquely swollen. The ringside doctor visited Jackson's corner. The message was delivered clearly. One more round, or the fight gets stopped.
The doctor is taking a very, very long look at Jackson. Are they going to let him continue?
He's getting plenty of attention in the corner.
They're letting him come out. I think the doctor says maybe just give him one more round or something.
It could well be.
That's the position.
Graham's corner told him to stay disciplined. He didn't listen. He pressed Jackson into a corner, landed a barrage of shots to the battered eye, had him hurt against the ropes.
Jackson, to his credit, sticking to his task, as desperate as it is.
Then Jackson swung a counter right hook over a lazy left, and it dimmed out the lights completely.
But falling ever further behind them. Oh no! That's what we were worried about.
Graham was unconscious before he hit the canvas. He went down face first and didn't move. He was revived only after 5 alarming minutes on the canvas. The scorecards at the end of round 3 had Graham ahead on every card. He was 13 seconds from the end of what was supposed to be Julian Jackson's last round. And then it was over. Jackson had done the impossible, won a world title half-blind, in a fight he was clearly losing, with one punch that ended the most important moment of Herol Graham's career. It remains one of the most replayed knockouts in the sport's history. He was now the WBC middleweight champion of the world. 3 years of title defenses followed. Dennis Milton, Ismael Negron, Ron Collins, Thomas Tate, and Jackson had his eye on cementing a legacy. He had 4 successful defenses. He was ranked among the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Then Gerald McClellan arrived. McClellan came in at 27 and 2 with 26 knockouts. His nickname was G-Man. He was 25 years old, trained by Emmanuel Stewart, and he possessed the kind of punching power that existed on the same scale as Jackson's own.
150-pound linebacker off the field, an honor student. And look at this!
He hit with both hands. He was physically imposing, and he had already stopped dangerous fighters throughout his career. Most who faced him either fell early or spent the rest of the fight looking for the exit. Jackson got hurt right in the first round, but managed to recover relatively quickly.
Try and find that big shot.
Straight away, that right hand from McClellan gets through, and that just rocked Jackson a little bit.
In the following rounds, Julian worked to the body, landing shots that appeared to have McClellan hurt.
Oh, right hand, Jackson.
You got it, Julian!
And McClellan looking a bit open, the gloves dropped there.
Jackson completely dominated round 2 and 3.
Carl King, son of the promoter, is shouting behind me, and they're very much, of course, in the Jackson camp, and Jackson closing in again.
Only to use his own jab. Good right hand.
Right again, the right again. Being around. Is he going to fail in a world title fight in Vegas here?
Jackson was moving forward, controlling the range. Through 4 rounds, it looked like the champion's fight.
McClellan rather is looking.
Jackson keeps letting that right hand go, but hasn't landed cleanly with it.
Then, round 5 changed everything. McClellan landed a clean right, followed by a left hook.
Big right hand from Jackson there, landed on McClellan. And McClellan's good shot.
Oh, he's got him with a left hook. Jackson.
Jackson beat the count, but he was hurt, visibly wobbled, his legs uncertain. He got dropped again.
The big concussive hitter is in trouble himself now. This could be the end of his reign. Right hand. He can't take more of that. He's down again.
He got up the second time, but the referee stepped in. Jackson lost the WBC middleweight title by TKO in round 5. It was the first time in his career he had been knocked out. He had beaten fighters for a decade with a version of exactly what had just been done to him. One punch, the right moment, the fight over. McClellan had done it better. The question was whether Jackson was finished or whether he still had something left. He went back to the gym. 3 tune-up wins followed, and then he got the rematch. The rematch was for the WBC middleweight title, now McClellan's to defend. Jackson had done the work. He had 3 wins since the first loss. He was fighting at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, and the plan was simple. Start fast, take the fight to McClellan before the bigger man could get settled. Jackson came out behind his jab trying to set the tempo and got caught right from the first exchange.
Into the first encounter. McClellan's come out with a real good jab. Oh, a big right hand. Right off the bat, Jackson's in dire trouble.
McClellan couldn't let that chance slip away from him, so he went for a finish.
McClellan looking to finish him up seconds into the fight. Pummeling Jackson. I'll tell you what, if they're going to stop this, if he doesn't offer up a punch, this fight's going to be over. He should go down and take an 8 count. I'll tell you, it gets better than getting hit like that. Relentless.
Julian didn't seem baffled, but just a few seconds later, a liver shot came from nowhere, leaving Jackson in agonizing pain.
Back comes McClellan.
That's what McClellan doesn't want to do is get a little overconfident sloppy, because Jackson can punch.
Down goes Jackson with a second power.
The fight lasted less than a minute and a half. McClellan had beaten Julian Jackson twice, and the second time it took him under 90 seconds to finish the job. Whatever Jackson had been at his peak, the man who won a title with one eye shut, who stopped Terry Norris in 2 rounds, who destroyed Buster Drayton in 9 minutes, that version of him was not in the ring on the night of May 7th, 1994. McClellan had answered the question definitively, but Julian Jackson was not done. With McClellan having vacated to move to super middleweight, the WBC middleweight title was vacant again. Jackson was matched with undefeated Italian Agostino Cardamone in Worcester, Massachusetts. Cardamone was the European middleweight champion, a southpaw who had gone 38-0 and hadn't been beaten in his career. Nobody gave Jackson much credit going in. He was 34 years old. He had been knocked out twice by the same man. The smart money said his time had passed. He was there to prove he still had the fire and skill to compete. Cardamone came out confident. He controlled round 1, wobbling Jackson with a right hook that had the former champion in trouble near the corner.
Fighting, physically trying to... Cardamone coming up, and he's got Jackson momentarily down. Cardamone with a flurry, not letting up.
He continued landing cleanly, cutting Jackson under the left eye. The round ended, and Cardamone looked like the better man.
It's Julian Jackson rolling and cutting under the eye. Cardamone is really swarming. What an end to the first round.
Round 2, Cardamone was still pressing, still controlling the center.
Jackson's corner saying, hey, you got hit with a good punch. And that's exactly what happened.
Well, the boxing, he's getting hit by that left straight left right there.
Then, with 1 minute and 25 seconds left in round 2, Jackson found it. A short, flush right hand straight to the chin.
Being cautioned for the moment by Marty Denkin for hitting behind the head.
Cardamone went straight off his feet, flat on his back. He rose by the count of 7, but he was barely upright, visibly gone. Referee Marty Denkin waved it off. Jackson was a world champion again. 3 world titles across 2 weight classes, all 3 won in the same way. 1 punch, perfectly placed, fight over. The first defense of the new title was meant to be a routine assignment. Quincy Taylor came in at 25-3, a southpaw from Texas who had done nothing to suggest he could trouble a 3-time world champion. What nobody outside the camp knew was that Jackson had torn his rotator cuff during the fight. He was injured going in, and it showed from early in the fight.
Here we go, round 1 here for the WBC Middleweight Championship of the World. Remember that knee brace on Quincy Taylor. He's a good one, but he hasn't fought the same caliber of fighters as Julian Jackson. A lot of people think, including the bookmakers here in Las Vegas, that Quincy, the southpaw, can lift the title from Julian. Taylor in blue realizes it and is being a bit cautious, although he let caution fly to the wind at time with that left hand. Julian continues to stalk, loading up the right hand. He bangs low. Now
Jackson was unable to generate his normal power on the right hand. It almost looked as if he was afraid to swing.
Jackson, there seems to be blood trickling down. And we'll get a better look in between rounds, but he landing on the forehead of Julian. Julian wild with the right hand over the head.
Taylor began to take over from the middle rounds, working to the body and using his southpaw angles effectively. Can't say he was dominating, but he was gaining the confidence he needed.
What Julian had better do it early, to stay on him like this. Julian's better off if he gets in a brawl and just lets it fly. Instead, you're in Dallas, Texas, in the United Artists movie theater there. I'm sure you're thrilled with the performance so far. Look at the way he fights. Julian shouldn't.
Then Taylor found him clean at the end of round 4.
Puts up the right hand. Quincy does such a great job of slipping punches. He doesn't seem to have the tremendous respect. Oh, the left hand got Julian. He's definitely hurt.
He'd beat the count, but the look on his face said everything. This wasn't the same Julian Jackson. And then the bell rang, Faith handing him a free ticket to round 5. Going out in the 5th, it looked like he might have recovered well.
Julian Jackson, he bangs him to the body that time. He's looking for a knockout in this round. Jackson has tremendous heart, but the corner of Taylor saying go for it. I don't
don't think that Julian's got his legs back 100%. He's still not 100% back. He may look like it, but believe me, he's not.
But that wasn't true, and Taylor smelled it. He pressed forward, cutting off the ring with his southpaw angles, landing to the body and the head.
Advantage of everything that age has taken. Big shot! Snaps the head of Julian. I don't know how he absorbed that one. He's definitely hurt again. His back is to the ropes. Quincy beginning to tee off. Julian tries to fight back Ganley, but there's a big look of concern on the face of Julian Jackson. Julian fighting on hot now.
Jackson couldn't generate a counter. The right hand, the weapon that had ended careers for 15 years, was barely having any impact on Taylor.
Fighting with a lot of confidence, looking to load up a shot. Julian's off balance when he throws his left hook, and he's wide open for the right hand of Taylor. Right hand. When Julian throws his right, he dips his body so much, and Taylor can counter him with his own left hand, which is his power hand.
Round 6, Taylor landed a big left overhand and continued with uppercuts. The referee stepped in. It was over.
Knockout victory. Oh, he hurt Julian with that. Julian's in big trouble here. Big shot caught him. Julian's in a heap of trouble. He better defend himself. But Jay Nady will move in and stop this fight. Julian's really hurt, and I don't know if Taylor realizes he ever put down. Julian better hang on or get down to one knee. It's all over.
Quincy Taylor was the new WBC middleweight champion, and Julian Jackson's third and final world title reign was over. He had won it 5 months earlier on a single punch against a man nobody had expected to trouble him. The shoulder had robbed him of the one thing his entire career had been built on. He would fight 3 more years after this. Smaller venues, lower opposition, 2 late career stoppage losses. But the real career had ended here in Las Vegas in August 1995. Julian Jackson finished with a professional record of 55-6 with 49 knockouts. The knockout to win rate of 89% put him in the conversation for the hardest punchers the sport has ever seen. The Ring magazine ranked him 25th on their list of the 100 greatest punchers of all time. He was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2010. What his record doesn't tell you is how the career actually felt to watch. For a decade, he was the fighter no one wanted to get hit by. He won 3 world titles at 2 weight classes. He stopped men who became champions themselves. He won a title with his eye swollen shut, half blind, losing every round on a single counter right hand. He did things in a boxing ring that most fighters can only do in their best moments, except Jackson did them as a matter of routine. But the sport has a pattern, and it finds most fighters eventually. The thing you do best becomes the thing that undoes you. Jackson built his entire career on the understanding that one punch could end any fight at any moment. Gerald McClellan understood that too. He applied the same rule faster and twice. The Hawk will be remembered for the right hand that put Herol Graham to sleep in Spain.
But falling ever further behind them. Oh no! That's what we were worried about.
For the KO of Terry Norris in under 2 rounds.
And that right to that, Terry Norris is gone.
For a decade of title fights where the crowd was never more than 1 punch away from watching something extraordinary. You could be winning every round. Until one punch dimmed your lights. Julian Jackson knew that better than anyone because he was the one doing the dimming, right up until someone did it to him. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and keep loving boxing. Until the next one.
And Drayton is still firing back. Oh, a big left in. Oh, a tremendous left.
Being cautioned for the moment by Marty Jenkins for hitting behind the head. Oh, and that right to that, Terry Norris is gone.